Reason Plus is a release that has polarized a lot of the Reason community. There's been a lot of people hating on it, but also a lot of love for the idea. In this video, we're going to talk about why people have been criticizing Reason Studios for releasing Reason Plus, and whether or not this is actually valid. We're going to discuss what Reason Plus actually is, and what are the implications of this new service for Reason users. Finally, we'll talk about how the release of Reason Plus affects the direction I think we can expect to see Reason Studios going in the future. Now, I'm a long-time Reason user. Reason has been my DAW of choice for 8 years. I've switched to Ableton now, but I still continue to heavily use the Reason Rack plugin in my music production. I've also been very vocal with my criticism of the software online and my thoughts about where I think it should go. However, I have remained a fan of the company despite my frustration with a number of the decisions that I've made and the choices that I've chosen to take. In fact, the reason I have been so vocal about my frustrations and constructive criticisms is because I love the software so much. Now, a lot of the hate that I've seen directed at Reason Plus from users online stems from the idea that Reason Studios have not made any meaningful updates to the Reason DAW in a number of years. I feel like this frustration is valid. I continue to see comments on my videos and forums online of people saying that they haven't yet upgraded to Reason 11 and they'll stick with Reason 10 because they don't feel like Reason 11 offers anything meaningful in terms of updates. I completely agree. Hey, before we go any further, take a moment to hit that like button. And if you're a fan of Reason or music production, subscribe to the channel. Most of the people viewing this are not subscribed, which is a problem. So hit that red button and stay tuned for future videos. So I think a lot of people agree with me when I say that the Reason 11 update felt more like a point update than a major overhaul. In my opinion, the only meaningful thing they released in that update was the Reason Rack as a external plugin, which doesn't even have anything to do with Reason as a DAW. I do think the Reason Rack plugin is fantastic because it has allowed me to switch my entire workflow over to Ableton while still maintaining everything I loved about Reason in terms of its instruments and effects. In 2019, I made a video about what I wanted to see in the Reason 11 update. Virtually none of what I wanted to see was in the Reason 11 update. I haven't felt the need to make any further videos about what I want to see in future Reason updates because you could just watch the video I made in 2019. Everything that I mentioned still needs to be added to the software. As a DAW, I think Reason is so far behind other DAWs in terms of basic functionality that I don't really ever see it being a serious part of my workflow again. I'd love it if it was. However, Reason Studios haven't really done anything to suggest that they actually care about making the DAW component of Reason a serious competitor to the likes of Ableton, Studio One, Reaper, Cubase, Logic, virtually any other DAW actually. And so I think longtime users of Reason have a right to be a little upset. They don't want to have to switch to another DAW just to have the basic features that most producers have come to take for granted. Reason 11 did not deliver. And so these longtime users have been holding out hope for Reason 12, hoping that this is going to be the one that's finally going to fix all the problems a lot of us have felt have existed in the Reason DAW. However, instead of this update that we've all been waiting for literally years, these users have been blindsided by Reason Studios launching a subscription service filled with the same stuff that we already had, which for these users, I think feels a little frustrating because it's like the company has done nothing to acknowledge or address their concerns. Now, I actually think Reason Plus is an incredibly awesome idea, and I'm really excited about it. I never personally expected to see Reason Studios move in this direction. I think it makes sense. And I'm excited about the possibilities that this new way of interacting with Reason has for the future. Before we go any further, I think it's also important to note that Reason as a DAW is not actually going anywhere, and you can still purchase a license to Reason without having to subscribe to Reason Plus if you don't want to. But I actually think the subscription model is a really great idea. I'll talk more about the implications I think Reason Plus has for the future of Reason Studios and what I think we can expect to see in the next few years. But first, let's jump into the Reason Plus companion and have a look and see what we're dealing with here. I'm here in Ableton and I have the Reason Plus companion pulled up right here. let's talk about what's in it, how to use it, and why I'm actually really excited about this new thing by Reason Studios. So it's got a pretty simple design. This is the first release, so I'm sure we can expect it to get better and better in the future in terms of usability, but I really like how it looks right now. Clean, simple, you understand what the heck is going on. Essentially, it's a browser for sounds, similar to Splice in a way, I guess, but this is dealing with patches for instruments and whatnot that you can use in Reason rather than audio samples, which I think is really cool, because the dope thing about finding a patch on a synth is that you can actually change it. And I'm the kind of producer that does not really like twiddling a whole bunch of knobs. Like, I'd rather scroll through some sound banks, find a patch that I really like, and use that as my starting point. Sometimes I change it, sometimes I don't. This whole concept with Reason Plus gives me an endless library of sounds that I can use as a starting point. So we'll pull some of those up in Reason in a second and have a look at how that works. But over here on the left-hand side, we've got a search bar. I don't know, I mean, I guess I could search for like trap. Pulls up the packs that have trap as one of the tags. Devices used in this patch. What I would love to see, just looking at this, wouldn't it be sick if you could like actually click on the patch and twiddle some of these knobs and adjust the sound while you're testing it out? That'd be kind of cool. I'd enjoy that. So filter by tag, this is a really, really cool thing that I think Reason needs to incorporate into the entire browse menu and whatnot. Native Instruments does this extremely well, their tag searching feature. This, I think, is a great starting point, and I'm stoked that Reason Studios have added it, but I want to see some more refinement of this in future updates. Okay, this is a little bit interesting, mildly annoying. I'm sure they'll fix this in an update. But if you click on search right now, you have to like type something in. If I type in trap, pops up a few different packs that have that keyword in it, I guess. As far as I'm aware, there's no way to get to this page without any search results unless you type something in and then delete it, which feels a little clunky, but I'm stoked with the starting point. I think this is really cool. Down here on the device section, you can see all of the devices you've actually got installed on your Reason account. This is cool because the authorizer plugin thing never worked super well. That was kind of frustrating to use. So if we're able to kind of collate things in Reason Plus like this, I'm all for that. This is great. This is a blog post from Matthias, who is the product manager. I think it's really important to note, given the frustration that I have seen a lot of people expressing, that if you don't want to subscribe, you don't have to. You'll still be able to buy a traditional Reason license. And he mentions, we're currently working hard on the next big Reason upgrade for release later this year, which will include the mythical high-res update, it's about time, as well as many other really exciting features. I'm super, super excited about this. I really hope these features are improving on the usability and functionality that a lot of people have been requesting for a long time. So let's say I want to install one of these sound packs, maybe this one by Kickback Couture. We can play a demo within the companion. If we like what we're hearing, we go install pack, and then it prompts you to open it in Reason. Now, I don't want to open it in Reason. If I click this, it's going to try and log you into Reason. If you are using the standalone version of the DAW, that's exactly what you want to do. I'm not, I'm using Ableton. So what I'm going to do is pull up my Reason Rack plugin in Ableton, open the browser, and now if I go down here and click on packs, here is my new sound pack that I just downloaded. I really love that we have the ability to actually hear what these patches sound like within the browser. That's something Ableton's been able to do for a long time, which is fantastic. I would like to see in the future this somehow be linked with the patch here. Like you click on the patch name and it plays the preview for you. But this is a great improvement for the time being. You know, let's say we like that sound. Right, got 12 bars here. Let's try find another sound we like. Classic house. I don't know what's that gonna be. Pull out another Reason Rack plugin. Go to packs. Here it is. Classic house. Dope. What even is actually in here? Oh, hello. Okay. All right. I'm actually gonna record this so that I get it as audio on a separate track. One fun trick you can do in Ableton, you take the gate, chuck it on the audio track, instantly mix up the beat. And we just automate this. So it goes off here. Now we're gonna get sick. All right, let's search for something this time. We'll go like search for a lead. Okay, nothing. K-pop? Nah. Afrobeat? Nah. Flux? Nah. Harmonica? Nah. Oh, pop gives us something. Eurodance, electronic, that gives us something. We're still getting stuff filled out in the tags apparently. That's it. Mom's fruitcake. I don't know what that is, but that sounds interesting. It's not Christmas anymore, but let's try and use a Christmas sound, shall we? New Reason Rack, Mom's fruitcake. All right, I think we're gonna use a couple of these. Let's start with this one. We'll use this as a pad. All right, that's a vibe. And let's try one of these other patches, the cheap Christmas keyboard. Yeah, that's kind of a vibe. But I love this whole idea of being able to grab random sound packs, browsing patches, creating music with the patches, and changing them if I want to. I think a lot of great music can be made from patches. For me, this is like epic. This is like endless patches, new patches every week. This is great. Some of them have a story attached, which I love. I would love to see this concept happen with a lot more of the patches of the packs. I really like where Reason Studios is going with this. Can't wait until the search thing is improved and a lot of these tags are filled out, like harpsichord. No one's made any patches for harpsichord yet. K-pop, let's get some of those. Reason 12 is still coming. I don't think Reason Plus was an announcement that replaced Reason 12. Reason Studios have said they plan on continuing support for the DAW component of Reason alongside the rack and alongside Reason Plus, which I think is great. However, as I alluded to at the beginning of the video, I think a lot of long-time users are frustrated and feel like they've been strung along by meaningless updates. I'm a massive fan of some of the rack extensions Reason Studios have released over the last year. I think they are some of the best and most creative tools to come out of the company in a long time. However, I can understand how Reason Studios continuing to release shiny new rack extensions might come across as a little concerning when all you want is some basic functionality updates to the DAW. My feeling is that if Reason Studios doesn't address a lot of these basic functionality and usability issues with the Reason 12 update, then they're gonna drive a lot of long-time users away. I feel like this is their last chance to show they're actually serious about developing the DAW component of Reason alongside the Reason Rack plugin and the rack extensions, without it seeming like lip service. I get it though. A company has to make money and only has limited resources, and I'm totally okay with Reason Studios taking a few years to launch the Reason Rack plugin and Reason Plus and get those two initiatives off the ground and running alongside the DAW component. One of the things I love about Reason Studios is how they have always been an innovative company and tried new things. For example, Rex format, the Rack, Ali Hooper, Figure, Reason Compact, as well as a whole bunch of their instruments and effects that I think lend an interesting perspective to music making. I haven't always been a fan of everything Reason Studios have done, and I think there's still a ton of room for improvement across the board. However, overall, I find what Reason Studios is doing pretty exciting. Here's what I want to see happen with Reason Plus, the Reason DAW, and the Reason Rack plugin over the next few years. I want to see Reason 12 released and demonstrating a commitment to improving basic functionality and usability across the DAW component. Like I said, I think this is Reason Studios' last chance to show they're actually serious about what they said they're going to do. And I think if they can, it will ease a lot of the frustration and uncertainty that a lot of users have felt. I want to see Reason Studios continue to develop and release exciting rack extensions. I think the last few rack extensions they've released have been fantastic. And if this is any indication of where they plan on going with the future, I think it's a good outlook. Personally, I love the idea that you can be subscribed to Reason Plus and get all these rack extensions and updates as part of the subscription, because inevitably I'm gonna wanna buy them anyway. And if Reason Studios continue to release rack extensions like the last three, then Reason Plus is only gonna feel like it's got more and more value. I wanna see more original media content produced for Reason Plus or across Reason Studios social channels. I've always really enjoyed the content that Reason Studios has put out from an educational tutorial media perspective, and I'd love to see more of it. I think Reason Plus is a great platform for that. I want to see Reason Compact overhauled or scrapped completely and replaced with a Reason Plus companion app of some description. I think Reason Studios is positioning themselves so that the Reason Rack is able to be a useful tool in the toolbox of any producer at any level on any DAW, which I think is an extremely exciting proposition. This one, I'm not sure if Reason Studios will do, but I really think they should. I think they should make the DAW component completely free. So when people pay for a license to Reason or subscribe to Reason Plus, they would be exclusively paying for the rack, not the DAW. I still want to see Reason demonstrate a meaningful commitment to improving the DAW. However, I don't think they're actually going to be able to do that long term in such a way that's going to allow them to compete with the other DAWs that other companies have, especially as these other DAWs also continue to release updates and improve the functionality and usability and feature set that they have. And if this is the case, I think there is far more value in having the DAW component of Reason free, perhaps with a stripped down version of the Reason Rack for new users or beginners. Studio One has a free version, which I think is fantastic. Personally, I think this is the best option for people who are new to music production and want to check something out. I don't think it has to be though, and I would love to see Reason Studios start to compete in the education space. I think that the Reason Rack is such a unique proposition for helping people understand the history and principles behind music production. And I think it's a shame Reason isn't really an obvious choice here. In summary, I'm not surprised there has been a lot of negative reaction to Reason Plus. I think some of it is justified. However, I'm also super excited to see that a lot of people are really positive about the idea, because I'm super excited in the direction the company seems to be going. However, I think they still have to prove themselves, and I am a little apprehensive about what is going to be included in Reason 12. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of Reason Plus? Have you tried it yet? And let me know if you've got any thoughts regarding where you think Reason Studios is going in the future, now that we know that Reason Plus is a thing. If you haven't already, like the video, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.